Hi, and welcome to my channel. September is the month for alopecia awareness, and I would just like to come on and just talk about the type of alopecia that I was diagnosed with in 2003, and it's called CCCA. Very long diagnosis here. But I was diagnosed with this type of alopecia, as I said, in 2003. Now, let me start back from the beginning before I went to my dermatologist and just give you a little bit of background of what was happening to my hair. My front perimeter, my hairline, was thinning out, and my back perimeter too, of course. The front and the back perimeter were getting very thin. And as time went on, it's not just became thin, but it started breaking and it started patchy looking. And no matter what I did, it would not, grow back. And so what I did was I went to a dermatologist and they told me that I had this type of alopecia. Well, I did not know that much about alopecia, any type of alopecia. So I did a little research on this CCCA. In the 1950s and the 60s, they did research and then they found out that this type of alopecia was happening mainly to African American women. Not only was this type of alopecia called CCAP, it also was called the hot comb alopecia. And the reason was because of their findings, they said in the 50s and the 60s, is that because of the hot comb and the petroleum jelly, I guess in some of the greases that we use to do the pressing of the hair, they say in the petroleum jelly, in that when the hot comb and the petroleum jelly came together, that what it did was the jelly would go down to the hair follicle and it would kill it, and then that hair would die and it would fall off. Well, as time went on, they were discovering that this type of alopecia was happening not only to African American women, but it also was happening to men and also to Caucasian women. So they had to go back to the drawing board and do more research on this particular type of alopecia. And they found out here, after doing that research, they found out that this type of alopecia, other things that were causing it. They were saying that the braiding of the hair, the sodium hydroxide relaxers, the extent that could be causing this type of alopecia. And so I remember even the hot comb when Granny used to press my hair. I remember holding that ear down, to make sure that you didn't get burned. And even if I held my ear down, I still would get burnt. But they realized that that was not the cause of it. And they said the braiding and the sodium hydroxide relaxers and extensions and other type of like pomades and stuff were probably causing this problem. Because, as I say, this was not happening just in African American women, but it was happening to men and it was happening to our Caucasians. Now, let's go back to the braids. I used to braid my hair all the time. I used the sodium hydroxide relaxers a lot. And a lot of times when I put my braids in my hair, I would pull my hair up into a beautiful ponytail. And by doing that, it just weakened that hair along the hairline and in the back perimeter there. And so from years and years of the perms and the braids, because a lot of times I had noticed too that the braided hair that I was using would cut the natural hair on your head. It would just break your own hair. And so many factors could have caused my hair loss between the braids and the relaxers. So many other things, and that could have caused that. Even medication causes hair loss. But this was their research. I am not a researcher. I'm just telling you what happened to me. So from the braids and the relaxers, my hair continued to thin around the front, and it never has grown back. Now, hair grows on the other part of my head, but around my front perimeter and my back perimeter, the hair does not grow. I went to my dermatologist in 2003, and we started off with the shots, but the shots did not help. But I encourage anyone that has hair loss problems to definitely go see your dermatologist and let them diagnose you and see if there's some type of treatment that they can help you with for your hair loss. So me, I just keep my head shaved off completely because I have no hair on the perimeter, and it just didn't work for me not to have any hair here or back here and have hair, around up here. That just did not work for me. So I just keep my head completely bald, and which I love it now. It's very cool on my head. I'm menopausal, and it just works for me. And I just want to salute all of my sisters, my brothers, and even there are children that have alopecia, and they have been going through so many different things with their alopecia. And I am so glad that the industry made it accessible for us as consumers to start to buying these full lace wigs. We call them full cranial prosthesis. Those that have lost our hair. This is what we call full lace wigs, full cranial prosthesis, because they are so realistic. I just love my full cranial prosthesis. And what I was going to say before I said that was that I salute all of my sisters that wear your bald head on a daily basis. You go out every day and you do that. I just decided that I would wear a full cranial prosthesis, and I love my full lace wigs. I do my human full lace wigs. I do some synthetic full cap wigs, but I love my full cranial prosthesis. And so I was just wanted to come on just to aware anyone that are, about alopecia. Sodium hydroxide relaxers can be very harmful to your hair. Braids being put on your hair can be very harmful because it pulls on that hair, and it weakens and it breaks, and sometimes it does not grow back. And so I just give you a word of caution that if you are going to put the braids in your hair, or if you are going to use the sodium hydroxide relaxers, to please be very careful with these two products. And so I want to thank you so much for listening to my story of how I live with alopecia on a daily basis. Um, as I said, I wear my full lace wigs, which is full cranial prosthesis. But when I'm at home in the house, when I'm at home, I just walk around with my bald head. But I thank you so much for listening to my story of my alopecia. And again, I encourage anyone that has hair loss to definitely go to a doctor, go to a dermatologist, and let them check out your hair loss and see if there's some type of treatment that they can have for you. And so, yeah, CCCA, alopecia. But I just thank God because with having alopecia, is that support groups are a big help. I started a support group in my local church called Face to Face, and very important for any person that has any type of issues that they're going through, not just hair loss. It could be weight problems or anything, that you have a support group, because there you can empower yourself. There you can get compassion, and there you can, just strengthen yourself, uh, and and you can deal with whatever your situation is on a daily basis. Also, I am a member of Sisters Living with Alopecia. Awesome support group there. And so support groups are a big help when you are trying to deal with something as drastic as hair loss, because when you lose something, it's like something has died, and it was like death. Even when I lost my hair, it took me a while to get used to not having it there. And so, but now I'm okay with it. It came with time though. So again, I just encourage anyone that has hair problems to go to a dermatologist and let them see if they can treat your type of alopecia, and it may help correct the problem. If not, at least you know what you are dealing with. So September is Alopecia Awareness Month. Just wanted to come on and just to give you a little information about the type of alopecia that I was diagnosed with. So thanks so much for watching, and have a great day. Okay, bye-bye.